What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Inside the Vinyl. I'm your host, Tim Bianconi. If you would go ahead and like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel below, that would be greatly appreciated. If you could also hit that notification bell so you could be notified when we put out new content, that would be appreciated also. And if you could go to our Facebook page at Inside the Vinyl and give us a follow there. I use that page to post links to a lot of the videos that we put out. I also do some throwback stuff on there, and once things get going, I plan to be a little more interactive with everybody on there. So give us a follow and check it out. Today, we're going to continue with our Greatest Hits series, and we're going to talk about a Foreigner best of called Turning Back the Time. Now, this just came out maybe not even quite a year ago. Let's go and take a look. Here's the front cover, and here's the back cover. And in the front cover, you got a jukebox with some of the album art and things like that in the middle there. So let's talk about this album a little bit. And, and there's a reason I'm bringing this up before, I know they have other compilations, including like the Foreigner, the Records or Records or whatever it was called from like 1982, I think it was. There's a reason I'm bringing this one up first. We'll talk about this along with more recent compilations from them. But this was originally released on October 4th of 2024. So again, a little less than a year old. It was released on the Rhino label through Atlantic. The songs are produced by various people, Mick Jones, Mutt Lange, etc. I didn't see anything on Wikipedia about any chart information, like whether it charted on the Billboard charts or not, and there's no gold or platinum certifications or anything for this yet. I imagine give it a few years, it'll probably go gold at some point. But let's go ahead and take a look at this thing. All right. So again, there we go, front cover, back cover. All right, and if we open this up, it's a 2-record set and it's a gatefold. So if we open it up, we see a myriad of album covers or singles covers or whatever all this stuff is. Maybe a little of both. So yeah, check that out. Very, very cool. Very cool. I can't remember if this is colored or not, but we'll see in just a second. All right, and if I pull out the first record, as my cat meows behind me, see if I can get the record out. Oh my God. All right, we'll edit that out. All right. And I do have the hype sticker saved in here, right? I sometimes like to save these if I'm able to, but it does say Foreigner Turning Back the Time, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame collection. So they did release this in conjunction with being inducted into the Hall of Fame at the end of last year. 2 LP set featuring the hits I Want to Know What Love Is, Waiting for a Girl Like You, Urgent, and a new song called Turning Back the Time. And we'll come back to that. This is just black vinyl, which again is not a bad thing. But if you look here in the center sticker, very agent provocateur looking center sticker there. It's the same on the other side. All right. And I don't think the other record's any different. And maybe I can get it out easier than I just did with this one. But we'll take a look at it anyway. I don't remember. Man, people are going to kill me in the comments on this about, you don't know how to handle records. All right. We'll just go ahead and pull this record out. It seems like a little easier. And pretty much the same thing. Just that like agent provocateur style sticker in the middle. All right. And I don't remember there being anything else in here, and there's not. So that's it. So let's go ahead and get this sucker, up here on display. And we can talk about this for a second. So, again, the entire point of this Greatest Hit series is to talk about the good, the bad. I want to show the album. Some of these have more to show than others. A lot of Greatest Hit series albums are kind of just money grabs for the record label. Like they just throw something together, simple packaging and all that, maybe not too much to see. This, on the other hand, was pretty elaborate. It's pretty nice. It's high quality, and released again in conjunction with Foreigner finally being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame last year. So let's talk about a few things here. So the good part of this album, again, mostly career spanning. We'll come back to that in a second. But it's got all the hits. It starts out with Feels Like the First Time, goes into Cold as Ice. It's got all the hits all the way through, most of the hits, I should say, all the way through Inside Information, and then even goes into some of the more current stuff with Kelly Hansen and the Can't Slow Down album, as well as some of the acoustic things or whatever they did. I'm not really sure about that. And then, of course, it ends with a song called Turning Back the Time, which is a new tune, and actually features the vocals of Lou Gramm. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, that was an unused song from back in the day or whatever that they finished and added Lou's vocals to. I might be wrong about that. I'll double check, and if I'm wrong, I'll put it in the comment. I'll put something in the bottom of the page here. But I'm pretty sure it was an old tune they had that they finished off, added Lou's vocals, and here we go. a new Foreigner song featuring Mick Jones and Lou Gramm. So that's the plus side. What sucks? Like I said, this album says it's career spanning, but it much like if you watch my Motley Crue unboxing that I did a week or so ago, or a week or two ago, the From the Beginning set I did. I said I was very upset with it that they're including songs from the current lineup that doesn't include all original members, but they didn't include some of the stuff from back in the day that didn't have all original members or original singers or whoever it is. I feel the same way about this album. Okay, it says career spanning, and I guess starting from the first album and going all the way through Can't Slow Down, I guess would be career spanning. However, it's weird to me that you have songs on here from the more recent lineup, not really current, but more recent lineup of Foreigner with Kelly Hansen and Jeff Pilson and so on and so forth. But there is nothing on this album from the Unusual Heat album, their 1991 album featuring Johnny Edwards, who was the first person to replace Lou Gramm. And maybe I'm a little biased here because Unusual Heat is probably my favorite Foreigner album, which I know is hard to say because they have so many great albums. But Unusual Heat was my introduction, and to this day is still my favorite Foreigner album. And I'm not saying you got to throw goo gobs of songs from there, but like Low Down and Dirty was a pretty big radio hit. And I'm a little upset that it's not on here, especially considering you're including songs from a more recent lineup that doesn't include Lou Gramm and some of the originals and whatever. So I feel like if you do that, then what's wrong with throwing at least one track on here from the Johnny Edwards Unusual Heat album? Also, on previous compilations, which are very similar to this one, there was like the 40-year one, and then there was I can't remember the one that came out in like 2006 or 7 or whatever it was, had a song on there called Too Late, which I think was like the first new recording that the Kelly Hansen fronted version of the group did, and that was a great song. I mean, if there was ever a classic sounding Foreigner song by the more current version of the band, that was it. And I'm a little sad it's not included on here. And yeah, and then like I said, it does go through from the first album all the way through Inside Information, but all it has from Inside Information is Say You Will. They had a really, really big hit with a song called I Don't Want to Live Without You, and that's not included on here. And I'm like, how do you have a 2-record set that you don't include that? If anything, maybe there's like 3 songs from the Kelly Hansen era. Nothing against his era. I like that album, but maybe knock one of those off and include one of your massive like top 10, top 15 hits in I Don't Want to Live Without You. I don't know. Nobody consults me on these greatest hits albums, and it's not my decision. And, if you like some of those songs, I think other compilations actually do include those, or whatever. Just this one doesn't, and I find it a little perplexing. But again, overall, I have listened to this and I've had it for a little while. I will say, whether not a remix really, but like the remastering or whatever they did to this record sounds absolutely amazing. I mean, I would say I've got like a middle of the road system. I mean, it's not bad, but it's nothing special. And this sounds crisp, it sounds clear, it sounds punchy. And I will say every song, every record on this sounds amazing. So Rhino never disappoints. I mean, as far as the quality of the packaging and the sonic, the sonic pieces, whatever. So I mean, you can't go wrong there. Let's see. All right, I don't really have anything else on here to talk about. So this is available in vinyl format. It's also available in streaming and all your digital platforms. It's also available on CD. So check it out. If you don't like this one, they have 2 or 3 other, maybe more than that, compilations that they've put out, like career-spanning compilations that they've put out over the last, 20 years or so. So check one of those out. But in any event, Foreigner, Turning Back the Time, I think that's what it's called. Yep, Turning Back the Time. Check it out. Unless you're a total mark for the Unusual Heat album, you won't be disappointed. But that's all I've got for you this time. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you can be notified when we put out new content. I have the rest of my greatest hits series where we talk about compilations, whether they're best ofs, career spanning, best of the rest, B-side compilations, whatever it is. We discuss the good, the bad, the ugly of greatest hits and compilations because it seems like a lot of people have opinions on those. Everybody wants their favorite song, and it just doesn't work out that way sometimes. Anyway, I've also got my unboxing series where we open up new albums. We open up reissues, deluxe editions, anniversary editions, and even box sets. Sometimes even CDs, just depends on what's coming out. I've got my Lost Classic series where I talk about albums that maybe got lost in the shuffle or swept under the rug, but I think everyone should hear. I've got my live album series where we talk about live albums from the 70s, 80s, and beyond. And I've even got a couple of short documentary films that I did for school. One is about a local disc golfer friend of mine, and the other one is about the fire that took our home away. And fingers crossed, we'll be back in there soon. So like, comment, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Peace out.